Thanks, bro. Appreciate you. All right, so as mentioned, what we want to do is get into here our ability to filter by project type. And so where do we start with that? Obviously, we could go into our code that we already have in the project list and modify it to also include this category filtering here to the left. But that would assume that we always want those two components together. Are there ever going to be times we want a project list without filtering? And then do we always want it just stuck here on the left, right? Or would we want to move it over here sometime, or to the top of the screen or the bottom of the screen? And so it's really nice to take advantage of the way we're setting up these projects in terms of components. If we set them up as a self-enclosed component, then it's really easy to move them wherever they need to go. So rather than attaching it specifically to the project list or any specific element in this React project, we want to make it its own thing. And that way, if we want to move to the top, we can just pop it easily to the top or pop it easily to the side. It's its own thing. And I had, when I was working at Weber State University, I had a teacher from the foreign languages department contact me and say they wanted to work with us together on a minor. And I thought, I've worked with a lot of different departments on some minors. This is not one that I would have thought of. Foreign languages. What would we do together? Well, as it turns out, I found out a lot about localization, and that website building in other countries does not just mean translating the text, but that other countries lay the website out differently and expect to see things in different places. And so if someone prefers to have the category filtering on the right here than on the left like we usually would see it, then it's super easy to pop that component out and put it over here if we build it as a component. And so let's do that. I'm going to go into our project. We're going to go into the source folder and add a new file that I'll just refer to as categoryfilter.tsx. All right, so we've got a new component. And we'll just build in our basic structure. So we'll say function, category filter, whatever we're receiving in, opening, closing brace. And then in there, we're going to have a return statement. And then we, at the bottom, if it's a component that, or sorry, if it's a function that's going to be exported, we need to include that statement that says export default and then the name of the component, category filter, if I'm spelling it right, which I did not do up here. Okay, so we've got the basic shell here for this category filter. Now, where do we, how do we do this? How do we get this category? So in the MVC, we would have loaded up in our controller, we would have loaded up some data and passed it down maybe in a view bag, maybe in a view model. But we don't have that ability of this view bag to get the information down from the server to our React side. And so what do we do? Well, I know eventually I'm going to need a list of categories. And so what I'm going to build here, and we'll do it like we've done before, I'll build a const called categories. And it is project types, but I hesitate to use the word types because it means something, right? It's one of our directories in our folder. And so just my intuition says stay away from that word. So I'm going to call it categories. And then we want to give the ability to set categories. And that's going to be equal to use state. And then what type of information is it going to be? Well, what are categories? They're a string, and we're going to have many of them together. And so this is going to be a string array that we're storing. And what is the default state? Well, the default state is going to be a blank array. All right, so now I've got this variable, so to speak, set up to hold this information that's going to be coming in. How do I get the information down from the server? Well, it's just like we've done before, right? We make an asynchronous call to the API. We pull in the JSON, and then we're going to set this variable. And so this shouldn't be too much of a mystery to us. Now, if we go into our back end and we look at what we have, I've got action here called get projects, and that we use the route all projects for that. That's what we've been using. Am I going to use this to get the categories? Well, I could, but does the categories need any of this other information? Does it need the list of projects? Does it need a count? No. And so it probably makes sense to pull a different list of projects. Now, this one I had just put in for fun. We can get rid of this functional projects. I was doing that to show that we could pull a different route for a different API call. Let's get rid of that one. And let's go in and actually, I'm seeing the weather forecast controller here, which is bothering me because we're not using that anymore. So I'm going to delete that while I'm at it. I'm going to delete this weather forecast CS. Just get rid of everything to do with weather forecast. We're not doing that. All right, so then what I need to do is build a second route that I can go get just a list of categories or project types. And so we're going to build one here in the watercontroller.cs. And so I'm going to say public, and I'll just say iActionResult for now. And we want to get, this is going to be called get project types, is what I'll call it. And then in this get projects types, I'll make a route for this. So HTTP get, and then in parentheses, remember, what route is it on top of the controller? And so in this case, I'll just say get project types. So that's the call I'm going to make in order to get this data. And then just like we've done, I can say create a var, call it project types, set it equal to underscore water contact project types, and it's even helping me out with the code here. So we go to the projects table, we select the field project type, and I was going to do this, but the IntelliSense spoiled it for me. How do we, if we just list out project type, we're going to get many different entries. Every row is going to have its project type, and so we'll get a lot of repeats. And so we can throw a distinct on here to only get distinct ones. We put that into a list, and then from here we can return OK. Remember, we use that OK to send the 200, but more importantly, it turns it into JSON. And then I can send back the project types. All right, so on the .NET side, I am now serving the project types. Wasn't that super easy? It's just like we've done with the controllers, passing information down to the views. I'm building the data here, and then I'm building a route that the front end can use to call and get this JSON. All right, we'll go consume it on the other side. Spencer out.